Good morning. You know what? It's hump day. Happy Wednesday morning. A little technical snafu to start off this Wednesday morning, but you know what is great? It is sunny outside, and it is Wednesday, and it is the hump day, and we are going to have fun today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are the only show that is all about the people, places, and events happening right here in the greater West Bloomfield community. And one of our favorite events is back on the calendar this year, the Keego Harbor Memorial Day Parade. It is a family tradition. And to give us all the details, we want to go ahead and bring in Kirsten Douglas, Chairperson for the Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation Department. Kirsten, thanks so much. Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday to you, Ronnie. Thanks so much for having us.
Hey, I'm so excited to have the parade back because it's been on let's just say a hiatus. I know that there was an event last year to mark the occasion, but it wasn't what we are all used to.
Yeah, the last 2 years we've just done virtual memorial ceremonies at the Rock. So we're so thrilled to have the actual parade back in person again this year.
So tell us what's going to be different this year. Are you, after a 2-year break, are you getting back to the basics, or is this really kind of starting over?
Well, we changed the route. That would be 3 years ago. So it's still new, I think, for people. So just a reminder, the route starts at the north end of Keego Harbor at Kessler Avenue, right by Indo, and then it will travel southward on Cass Lake Road to Roosevelt. So it's not on Orchard Lake Road anymore.
Oh.
So that's something that changed when I took over as chair, to bring it so that we're in the actual residential part. And one thing that was super important to me was that we were able to include our residents at Magnolia, so they were able to participate too.
That is completely different, and for all of the people that travel Orchard Lake on that day, they appreciate that as well.
Right.
So Orchard Lake's going to remain open.
Correct.
So with that, how many participants do you have? Because at this point in time, you have to be getting pretty close to the end, right?
We're in the final detail stages. So, yep, we have almost 20 participants, which is about the range that we've had over the course of 10 years. So, yep.
Okay, my favorite thing is you have to kind of give me a sneak peek. Dairy Queen, are they going to be there? I always like to get the coins for the free cone. I found one the other day, by the way. I was like, hey, are those still good?
They are. They don't expire, which is really nice. So, yeah, that's one. I love that we have local restaurants, local businesses that participate, as well as some of the school groups that participate. So Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, we've got the robotics club, we have the West Bloomfield High School marching band that's participating. So it's a well-rounded parade. So we're very excited.
So with that, what's it been like for you to be a part of this?
I love it. So I have
it's a lot of work though, huh?
It is. It is. It's almost a full-time job, and this is a volunteer position. Our Parks and Rec put it on. A few years ago, an organization called Team Keego, and I have to say thank you to them because they do financially support us currently with this parade, dissolved, and so they brought the parade back to Parks and Rec, and I had just moved to the community, and having an events and promotions background, I thought this is a great way to give back to my community, and so decided to join the commission and chair the event. And I love it. Well, the first year was hard because it was a lot of learning and who I needed to contact and about closing roads and which permits I needed to pull and things like that. But now that we have systems in place, it's a little bit easier. So we're still looking for volunteers to help close the roads. If you live on one of the roads that the parade's passing by, you have a front row seat. We're just asking for people to help move the stanchions and the barricades to help protect our participants.
So it's not an all-day volunteer position. Literally, if you live there, you walk out, you help out, you watch the parade, and then at the end, you help at the end.
Go home, go to barbecue, 100%.
Right. You know, I love this because, as you mentioned, you're somewhat new to Kegel. We've lived here in the Kegel community about 15 years, but for you, you have a son. What's it been like to kind of be a part of this small community atmosphere and to have a parade like this?
We love it. I can't imagine living anywhere else. I love that when we walk down the streets, we know almost all the neighbors. I love that one of the first events actually that we participated in before I was on the commission was the egg hunt. And it was just amazing to see the community come together and just have a great event. And so that was one of the things I want to do was give back. And so we've created events like, and we'll talk about it at another time, the Keego Harbor Block Party, again, just bringing our community together. And so I love our little walkable community. You'll see our family out walking or riding our bikes to local restaurants, businesses, and walking to our community school as well.
I am so excited about the possibility with Kegel as well, because I feel like, there's so much potential in our community because walkable communities are so important right now.
Mm-hmm. And especially with people being a little more conscious about their footprint and being able to walk and ride their bikes and different modes of transportation other than motor vehicles.
So, Kirsten, I have to say, I think we need like a dog contest in the parade. Like we need to have a pooch parade in the Memorial Day parade, and then have a doggy, costume part of the parade.
All right, so I'm going to put you as one of my co-chairs next year, and we will super include that. We do actually have the kids do a bike decorating contest. I do need to say that. So Magnolia was wonderful to let us utilize their parking lot so that the kids can gather safely, and we'll have streamers and flags and all different things for them to decorate their bikes so they can participate in the parade as well.
And the one thing I love about Memorial Day, it really is about family and tradition, but it's also about taking time to honor those that have served our country. Any special participants this year?
So we will do the memorial service at the Rock at 9:30 in the morning. The Rock, it's one of our pocket parks, the Veterans Memorial Pocket Park. It's at the corner of Orchard Lake and Cass Lake. And so we will do a small ceremony there. It'll include the honor guard from our local fire department, which I appreciate them participating in. And then we will have veterans and those who are currently serving our country. We'll have reserved parking for them at Roosevelt Elementary School so that they have a front row seat.
Again, we're talking with Kirsten Douglas. She's with the Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation Department. It's great to have you on the show. I know you guys have a lot of fun things planned going forward, but it always takes volunteers. Do you want to give a shout out? Say, hey, I need some volunteers.
I want to thank those who volunteered first. And then, yes, it takes a village. It takes our city to put on these events. The Parks and Rec Commission is a volunteer position. We do have open seats. So if you're interested in participating and volunteering that way, you can go to the city website, which is kegoharbor.org, and fill out an application. But yes, we are always looking for volunteers. So again, you can go to the city website or connect with us on our Facebook page.
So again, what's the time and the street for people to line up? Because I know that it's always kind of an issue with Sylvan Lake. Their ceremony and our ceremony, I think they're at different times this year though, right?
They are. So Keego Harbor has always been first, and then Sylvan Lake. So those that participate can go and participate in both of them. So we have our memorial ceremony at the Rock that starts at 9:30. And then the parade starts at 10 o'clock. Again, it's traveling southbound on Cass Lake Road. And that'll be from about 10 to about 11:30.
And the good thing about that too is everyone, if you're going to go out, don't just hit the parade. Go a little bit early and meet the men and women that are serving in our military services and hear their firsthand account and their stories as well, and honor what they do. It's so fun having you on.
It's so great to be with you this morning.
Any other last things you want to kind of tease before we say goodbye to you?
Third Friday of June, July, and August will be the Keego Harbor block parties with live music and food trucks. So I hope we can pitch that in a little bit.
Oh, we are definitely going to be talking about that more. This is something I'm so excited for because I know Sylvan Lake's been doing it for quite some time as well. You say food trucks, we're there. We're there. Everyone loves food, food and music. So thank you so much for your time, but also thank you for, working with so many others to be able to bring these events to our communities, because it really is what makes us special. So thank you so much, and a shout out to the other volunteers as well.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Again, of course, the parade is going to be taking place Memorial Day. I should say my husband is always one of the MCs of the event, Woody Woodruff. He adds a little bit of flavor to the parade. Before we head to break, though, we do want to mention, if you know someone making a difference in the community, well, we like to highlight them from the greater West Bloomfield community, going above and beyond to improve our little corner of the world. Show your gratitude. Tell us about them. We made it easy. You see that code right there. It's a QR code on your screen. Put your phone up to it, and then it pops up a form. Just fill it out. Give us the person's contact info and why you think they should be recognized. And it could be a person, a business, or an organization. We'd love to hear about them. We'll be right back on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine. To keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back. I'm your host on this adventure, Ronnie Dahl. It's great to have you with us. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, in case you were living under a rock, you have noticed it's orange barrel season here in the Mitten State. And while it's not always a welcome sight, it sure is nice when the road work is complete and the potholes disappear. To talk more about some of the work going on in the area, let's bring in the man with the plan, the one, the only, Mr. Steve Kaplan, West Bloomfield Township Supervisor. It is so good to see you again. How are you?
Welcome back, Ronnie Dahl. We missed you.
Oh,
we had a very, very competent replacement, but we all miss Ronnie Dahl, and it's great that you're back with us.
Well, thank you. It's great to talk with you again. Steve, I kind of got caught up in this construction not long ago. You know why? Because I wasn't watching The Splash. I didn't know about the construction over there at Green Road and Haggerty. I was all turned around, had to do the loop-de-loop-de-loop, and I was like, what? So I know we want to talk about some of the improvements on Green Road. It's always better when it's done, right? Road construction?
Sure. It's somewhat like a vaccination. It might hurt and it might be inconvenient, but it provides the protection, could save your life and enhance your health. In terms of construction, as you well know, Ronnie, our roads are owned by the Oakland County Road Commission. That means that if a resident has a pothole or a subdivision street needs repaving, it's through the Road Commission. We do our best to serve as a liaison, though, between the Road Commission and the residents.
I love that you mentioned that, Steve, because it really is confusing for people, like who owns which roads? Is it local? Is it state? Is it county? And it can get confusing. And I'm sure you get the phone calls up there at City Hall about the road conditions.
We do, and we're happy to serve as liaison. So as you mentioned, Pontiac Trail, that's a project that will take about 120 days from Haggerty to Green Lake Road.
Whew, that seems like a long time, but it's worth it in the end. So Steve, you said you're kind of the liaison. What's your role in trying to navigate this?
And one would be explaining to residents what has occurred and what will occur. Also calling the road commission when there are really bad spots, really bad potholes, defects in the road. But we're not able to gain the repaving of a residential road.
So where's the money come from this? Does it come out of the township budget, or is this like a county federal program?
Good question. So it's state and county.
How much did this one cost? Our tax dollars.
Pontiac Trail, that'll probably be a $3 million repair, resurfacing.
Wow. So you get out and about, and I know that you've probably heard from some of the residents. It gets a little frustrating because it's like every single road is under construction at the same time. But on a township level, you have nothing to do with that. And you have to navigate the roads just like the rest of us.
Sure. So there's a ancillary negative effect here. Oakley Park Road, which is a gravel road in many areas, and it's heavily traveled. Now there's more traffic on it because of the Pontiac Lake Road construction.
Oh.
And this, Ronnie, is leading to dust entering the area. It's affecting people's cars, homes, just breathing when they're walking. And we've had many calls about Oakley Park Road. And what we have done is we have insisted to the best of our power that chlorine be applied to Oakley Park Road. And it's happened twice now. Twice in the last 4 days, the Road Commission applied chlorine, and they're going out today and 2 days from today. So it's very frustrating for our residents because they don't want to be exposed to large amount of dust, which is exacerbated, as said, by the number of people using Oakley Park Road as a way to avoid Pontiac Trail.
See, you know what you are, Steve Kaplan?
Yes.
You're a problem solver.
Well, thank you very much, but we can't solve all the problems. And the Township Board, we do as well as we can. We don't bat 1,000. We never will. We give 100% effort, though.
You know, these road projects are so painful while they're happening, especially in the summertime and you're trying to get places, but it's so nice when they're done.
Right. So the after effects are good. The aftermath is excellent. It's just reaching that point. Somewhat like starting a new relationship. It might be painful at first, but after you're married, it's just a great life. At least for the first year. No, I'm joking. I've been married 35 years.
Steve, I love that analogy, by the way.
Oh, Ronnie, would you mind if I share with you and your viewers and those listening on the radio that 2 of our roads one has been repaired. We encourage the Road Commission. Remember I said to you that subdivision roads are under the control of the Road Commission and we can't pave them. But we found a loophole for Green Road and Pine Lake Road.
Okay,
now,
I love that.
Roads, and you know where both of them are. These 2 roads, Green Road was paved 2 weeks ago, and it's beautiful. It is so smooth with the black overlay, preservation overlay, and we were able to persuade and ultimately convince the Road Commission to repave Pine Lake Avenue or Pine Lake Road and Green Road. Why? Because they are connector roads. They connect to 2 main streets. And so I think residents who live off of Green Road, they are elated because that road wasn't looking good. It affects property values. It affects peace and tranquility. And Pine Lake Road will be completed next month.
See, you know what? I love that. That's why we have you on, because like I said, you're the problem solver, and we all travel those roads, so it's greatly appreciated.
Oh, Ronnie, so 14-Mile Road is under construction between Farmington Road and Orchard Lake Road, and that causes a big mess. It's a havoc over there. 14 Mile on both sides, surprisingly, is owned by Farmington Hills. So that's a Farmington Hills project. At the same time, Farmington Hills is repaving and reconfiguring Orchard Lake Road between 13 Mile and 14 Mile. So although that's south of our border, it has an effect on our residents and our businesses.
Oh, you know what that says, Steve? People just need to take the summer off and hit the lake and ride their bicycles, right?
That's a wonderful idea.
Hey, you're the township supervisor. You can make that happen.
Sure. So Ronnie, I know you live near the Keego Harbor area, and Orchard Lake Road between Commerce Road and Old Telegraph is being reconfigured. I know you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
But this is going to be a great improvement for our residents and, of course, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake. So it's going to be 4 lanes in many areas, but not your typical 4 lanes. It'll be 2 lanes southbound, 1 lane northbound with a left turn lane. And then in other areas between Commerce and Old Telegraph, it will be 3 lanes with a left turn lane. Now, having driven Orchard Lake Road thousands of times, Ronnie Dell knows that it's dangerous because it's a 4-lane road with no left turn lane.
Yeah.
And also the road curves. So the Road Commission, to their credit, realized that this is a major fix. Our cost for West Bloomfield is about $20,000 because they have federal money involved.
You know what, Steve, thank you so much for being with us, but also thank you for being the problem solver and trying to think outside the box to address some of these issues that maybe aren't even in your control.
Ronnie, thanks so much. We admire you, and good luck on your second voyage.
Thank you so much. We'll be talking a lot, Steve. Have a happy day. We're going to take a quick break here on The Splash. When we come back, we are going to be talking paddleboarding.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Okay, dare I say it, yesterday felt like summer. I'm hoping that means we're not going to see snowflakes again, because we have had actually snow in May before, but that sunshine and that 80-degree weather had me ready to dust off the paddleboard and hit the water. Best way to do that is with the best tour guide on Sylvan Lake, Misty Marcum with Luna Moon Sup Yoga. Good morning, Miss Misty. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I've got my fingers crossed for this weather too, because it's been amazing, and it just makes you feel really good.
Oh, it's like your attitude changes, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm hot out here today.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know I've lived here my whole life, so I can remember as a kid seeing Memorial Day is not so good as a weekend, but who knows? Maybe we're away from that now.
Fingers crossed. And I was getting anxious, you know, because you drive by the lakes and it looks amazing. Everyone right now is thinking boating season, getting out there on their paddle boards, on their kayaks. But before they hit the water, especially paddleboarding, should they do certain things first on land, on dry land?
Well, I always say check the weather. Even when you're in your backyard, I know it happens to me. I live right here at the lake, but in the backyard, on my deck, it could be sunny, no breeze, feel 90 degrees because the deck is attracting all the heat. And as soon as I go to the water edge, like, oh, there's a light breeze coming out of the west. And how fast is that wind? Well, if you look at your app, and look at probably multiple apps, especially throughout the summer, and make sure you get some sort of weather alerts, especially if you are out there. Weather can still happen. I don't know. I mean, being on a boat, same thing can happen. If you look up to the sky and see some dart coming, you know, you kind of want to know in advance, especially if you're across the lake in one of those awesome canals and you need to make it back. So definitely having some plan A's, B's, maybe even a C if you're already out there. And then I would also do a gear check. In paddleboarding and even kayaking, you know, you have your paddle, and you want to make sure that that's even at your proper height. And these are kind of like longer-ended stories, but just some tips. Maybe if they Google it or just come to a class, and I'll share all those tips. And even if you have your own gear, I can teach you how to use. Last year, I even did some kayak tours because people were getting more out on the lake, but they're using their kayaks. Another thing definitely to have with you is your life preserver. So there's multiple versions of those, but please make sure you have one on your board or kayak, even if you're not wearing one. They do have the waist belts that go around the waist, and those are a little less cumbersome, and they're a pull tab. So if you're a great swimmer, all you got to do is pull the tab, and it's a CO2 cartridge that would ignite and blow the thing up, and then you wrap it around you. I would do some stretches even.
Yeah, I see, and I love that. That's why we have you on, because people think, oh, I can just jump out there, or if they're buying a new paddleboard. But you really need to take time to educate yourself, and as you're going out on the lake for the first time, double check, make sure your gear and everything is, you know, up to par, because after sitting in the garage all winter, I love your classes. You are so unique. So people, Misty offers classes, paddleboard yoga, meditation, and they are so fun. But what I like is you are so inviting, and you welcome people of all skill levels. Tell us more about your classes.
Definitely, all levels are welcome. You know, this is still a very rapid growing sport. Just like I mentioned, even more people wanting to do kayak. I think even older ages, people are just ready to do something. You know, whether we blame the past 2 years of what's been going on, but the classes, I mean, I do offer a variety, and like I say, all levels. If someone is super nervous and they are a newbie, you know, maybe having a phone call with me, I would love to talk on the phone with you before you come out and just kind of capture your needs, goals. If you do have a little bit of fear of the water, those are all great things for an instructor to know, and nothing to be ashamed about or hide. You know, the water just adds a whole nother element. As much as it is calming, relaxing, and very, you know, fun and distressed to look at, especially in those sunsets or the greenery and all that. I like to make sure they're comfortable. And so there are a few ways that I will teach, especially if it's very overwhelming for them to just even get on one of these boards. I do want to highlight the board really quick. It is a very stable board. So for these classes, they are not your typical surf style, potato chip looking paddleboard, which are very unstable.
Kind of what I have. So, hey, Misty, I'm sorry. We only have like 15 seconds left, but I want to really make sure everyone, she's awesome. I even got my husband out there. Quickly, in 15 seconds, tell us, where can people find you? Because we want them to sign up for your class. They book fast.
Go to lunamoonsupyoga.com, lunamoonsupyoga.com, and all my information is there. I have, you know, my email, phone number, everything. I put so much into this website so that everyone can see and know.
Well, we so appreciate your time. We're going to have you back on. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. This has been The Splash Live.